Okay. So today, for my Husky 100 application, I have my brother Millen with me. He is class of 2022, and just recently graduated. So I'm really happy to have him to be interviewing me for my Husky 100 application.
Yeah, my name is Millen. Just graduated back in June. Now I'm repping the Katyal school down in Silicon Valley. So interviews happening over Zoom. But I obviously knew about the Husky 100 from my time at UW. And after having gotten to see kind of the experiences that Neil's been going through the past couple of years, I kind of pointed him in this direction. So I've got the Husky 100 criteria in front of me, and we'll just kind of try to go rapid fire through it to talk about some of this stuff. So just getting right into it. You want to start talking about the discovery mindset?
Yeah. So the part of this that really stuck out to me was finding challenges, not problems. I came to UW with the intent to pursue a career in investment banking. And if you know anything about that recruiting process, it is extremely difficult for everybody, but especially, non-target schools, especially people on the West Coast, just because there's such an East Coast bias for these small private schools and whatnot. Um, I was sick of getting rejected just cold from all of these applications, and I know I was gonna have to have a really competitive resume. So since I've been at UW during my sophomore year and into recruiting for my junior summer, I went out and got these extra internships through UW alumni. I worked at a bank my sophomore year, and I worked at a private equity firm my sophomore summer, and I will be working at a bank again in my junior year, which I'm super excited about. But none of that would have been possible without the Husky alumni connections that I made along the way. My resume kept getting rejected just because of the school at the top of my resume. I didn't think that was very fair. I thought that I could, do a great job once I got into these interviews. And so I reached out to as many Husky alumni as would speak to me, developed legitimate, strong relationships with more than 30 of them, and they were able to refer me, pull some strings for me, find the scenes, and get me referred in the position to interview at these companies. And I made the most of it. So very exciting.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you mentioned those alumni connections. You want to just expand on what it was like to meet all of these Huskies?
Yeah, I mean, it was great, and I have such a strong network that I feel like I can really pass that on to the next generation of Huskies, which is kind of something I'm excited about. This kind of brings in the connecting the dots and kind of my inclusive community aspect of my application, where I'm kind of taking these connections where I learned in the classroom, from Harvard's 550 or Professor Beard's international business. I'm taking that as preparation into these calls and interviews so I can sound prepared and be someone that these people want to go to bat for. And then, now that my process is completed and I'm kind of achieved the goal of these internships that I wanted to get, I've turned around and I'm a mentor in the investment banking club. I'm helping these students pass down these connections, pass down this information to kind of keep the cycle of people having it easier than I had for myself. Um,
Right.
one example is a grad student who came to the program looking for a career change. Another example was an international student who came and was having trouble recruiting, but we kind of tweaked his narrative and really highlighted his diverse background to get him placed. And then talking about inclusive community, this isn't maybe the traditional way to talk about this, but I'm in a fraternity off campus, and I'm one of the first person of Indian descent to hold an executive position, which I'm super proud of. And I think of myself as someone who leads by example, and something I'm really proud of, giving a little nugget of diversity in a place that's not traditionally very diverse.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was in fraternity at all in my time at UW. So it's been a really cool experience to get to watch you kind of go through that. And especially, yeah, as a person of color, as an Indian guy, like you just don't see that as much in Greek life. So
Yeah.
that really has been a cool experience. And then you just want to talk about kind of what you have coming up next. Year and a half left, and then graduation and beyond. Just how do you feel about all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like I've done a lot of hard work, and UW has catalyzed a lot of the things that I've done. This is the best decision I ever made. Following your footsteps to come here, and I'm super excited to continue giving back. I feel like I've done the best I can to make the most of it, my experience this far, and help those who will come after me. And I'm looking forward to be leader in the UW community, in the foster community, and kind of give back to these students the way that so many alumni have given back to me. Yeah, it's been a wonderful experience, and I hope that this Husky 100 application was compelling. Thanks to my brother for helping me out to tell my story. 4.5 minutes, not a ton of time, but
Absolutely, yeah.
hopefully this was a good lens into my story and kind of my Husky 100 experience.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure.